Jim, you're obviously really at the forefront of quite a massive game-changing opportunity with agriculture in the Kimberley. And for those of you who don't know, KAI was selected 10 years ago as the preferred proponent to develop about 13,000 hectares of land in the Ord River irrigation area, and your long-term goal is to build Northern Australia's most exciting agricultural development. So just tell us a little bit about what's going on there, the operations, and really what the big plan is, which will see massive changes there over the next 10 years.
Yeah, so we're rewinding 10 years here. So 10 years ago we went through an exhausting process, I would say, being selected, and there's a couple of people in the audience who will remember that, to be selected as the preferred proponent to develop Ord Stage 2. I occupy an interesting role where I represent a Chinese investor based in Shanghai, and he set out to do something big because I don't think he knows any other way. In approaching it, we looked at it. It's remote, very remote. You know, possibly we're one of the most remote parts of the world around in doing what we're trying to do. So we set out to develop an integrated, diversified and scalable development. So when I say scalable, I heard some of the things mentioned earlier was we have to be globally competitive. Yeah. So if we're not globally competitive as an ag base, then we're not going to be around very long. How we did that and how we're doing that. So we've been operating now 10 years developing land. It's been a bit of a slow burn, but we're beginning to pick up a bit of pace. Stars have aligned a little bit. We set out to integrate with what was already there, the cattle industry, been there for 100 years. We already had a grains industry. We commenced exporting grain to South Korea in the form of maize, food grade.
How long ago was that? Did that start?
We started that about 5 or 6 years ago.
Right,
so
okay.
We've got two markets. We've got an export market to South Korea and a domestic market. Maize was meant to be the rotation crop to cotton. We've more recently commenced building a cotton gin.
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is a grains industry, a cotton industry and a fodder industry.
Right.
All of that dovetails very nicely into a cattle industry that lifts the whole ag system in the region, ratchets up your cattle management, and I'm sure Rick can talk to that,
yeah.
But ratchets the whole ag sector up.
And how does cotton and cattle go together?
Well, from a cotton point of view, the most interesting thing from an economic point of view is the lint, and that's Australian lint, for those who don't know, is highly sought after around the world. But from a regional point of view, the seed is the most critical thing. It's protein base, which the northern ag cattle industry has been deficient in since it commenced. For West Australians, I like to put it as it's lupins with butter. That's a West Australian context. High in protein, oil, and it allows you to start to differentiate your cattle industry a bit.